Alright guys, we got a Schlage here, which is a copy of the American 700, very large, very heavy lock. I got this from Kyle. Kyle, you didn't put your YouTube name, so anyway, he calls this the train wreck. And he mentioned that there were some difficulties. This is his first challenge lock, and something about a problem with a tap. So what I did notice is when I go to put the key in, though, it came with the key in it, but as soon as I pulled it out and tried to put it back in, she didn't want to go. But when I turn the lock upside down, then it slides right in. So I think Kyle has probably been messing with some springs. Probably has no spring in at least one of them. Anyway, it's a brand new lock, still got the packing grease on it. I don't think this thing has ever seen use at all. By the way, it's a 6-pinner. There's your pretty good bitting. And nice wide open keyway. So let's go ahead and see if we can't get in there. Alright, first challenge lock. I'm going to zoom in a little bit, give you guys a good view of the keyway, so if there's some feedback or counter rotation, you'll be able to see it. And it's a nice fat keyway. I'm going to use that one. Perfect. That's a really floppy core. I'm going to move this a little bit, give you a little bit better angle, and I think I can still work around it. Use the right end, Bill. Yeah, look at that. Very floppy. Wide open keyway. I'm going to use a DeForest diamond because we can fit it in there. So I'm going to fit the biggest pick I own. Alright. It is a challenge lock, so go with light tension. Always assume serrated unless you know different. And I got nothing. Springy. Everything's springy. I'm on pin 2. He's still binding. He didn't click. No, I got nothing out of him. I'm not sure if that set him or overset him. Alright, that was pin 1. Awful crunchy here, Kyle. Looking for another binder. I got nobody. I'm going back to 1. I'm thinking what little light tension I have on there might even be too much. Ooh. And I have very light tension. Okay, I'm going back to 1 again. I'm going back to 1 again. Alright, I'm going to reset here. And I'm going to begin with 1. Man, I can feel him moving, but he's giving nothing away. Okay, I'm on 2. I'm on 6. Wow. I think 1 and 2 are set. But everybody else is springy, so that tells me that 1 or 2 are either overset or I haven't gotten them yet. Yow! That's not good. Alright, well, it gives us a chance to start again. Alright, I'm just barely holding that in there this time. There. Just barely touch 1. And we got it. We got a fault set. Let's see if we can just barely touch these guys. Okay, I got two, I think. Man, now we seized up again. What the heck? There we go. I'm on 3. Now we got a good fault set going. Definitely some serrations in here, guys. And now we got a dead core. Alright, I need a tougher pick. I'm going to put some, this is from Rav Tattoo, my new hook. It is a 25 thousandths. So it should be pretty durable. Let's see if I can force some kind of feedback. I'm hesitant here. I'm not sure if that's feedback or just pressure I'm putting on the core. I'm going to release some tension, and something happened there. Okay, my fault set, I got it back. Okay, I feel the same thing there. I'm going to go ahead and release some tension. Okay, and there we got a good fault set. Now nice and deep. Very subtle feedback. Okay, I'm on 3. I got the same subtle feedback. I'm going to lighten up the tension. That's not working for me. Okay, there's some feedback. That was on, get on there again. Where'd you go? That was on 5. Jeez. Here we go. I got no idea, fellas. I don't know. I know there's some serrations in here, and I know it felt like 5 was a spool, but this thing has a dead feel. Very slight feedback. Alright, what do we need to get in here? Quit messing around, Bill. Okay, push that. We need a Phillips. Other than the key having trouble going in, I think you did a great job on this lock. I mean, in terms of difficulty to get in here, even if it is just springs and threaded cores. Okay, nothing special about that. And externally, nothing special with that. We got a key, so I'm not too worried about that. I'm going to go ahead and just leave it like that. Let's pop that off of there. And we're going to need a pinch. Okay, what do we got here? I need a small one. Okay, we got a half moon. I'm going to turn in just a little bit like that so that the half moon lines up and nothing pops out on us. And something in the back is caught up. Alright, let's do this the other way. There's some oddness on the pins here. So what I'm going to do is gut it backwards and try to keep my finger on the key pins. In fact, I can even turn those key pins. Let me slide that back. We're going to slide them like that, and let's find some tweezers. And I think I can already see what is going on. It's a very thin. Is this zoomed still? Yeah. It's a very thin edge on that. You can't see it now, I don't think. Let's just quit messing around and pull him out. Look at that. Hardly any spring tension at all on that guy. Just barely in there. Let's get him out. It's a little spool. And I can see some threading in there. And the next one, also a spool with little serrations in it. But I don't think the serrations would come into play. Okay, that next pin, I don't know if you can see that. It's just barely hanging in there. He just barely sticks above the shear line. There's just no tension on that guy. And we got a spool with some modifications. We'll look at him a little closer in a moment. Alright, the next one. Let's see if we can just slide it like this. Okay, he had enough energy to pop out. Another spool, and he's kind of mangled. He's mangled up a little bit. And the next one. Okay, that is actually the one past where I want to go. That's a standard. I think that was number 1, and number 2 didn't even pop up. Ah! There went the key pins, damn it! Didn't have my finger on them, but we'll get to them. You can see that last one down there in the number 2 position. He's just barely, hardly any spring tension on that guy whatsoever. Alright, so that was a spool in number 2. When I'm looking in here, I see serrations in number 5 and serrations in number 1. And serrations also in number 3. And you can usually tell if you look closely at the top. You can see where he went in with the threads on, with the tap on the top of it. Alright, that is the body. Now let's see what kind of disaster happened here when I dumped everything. Yeah, we got a real mess. Before we get to that though, let's look at the springs, because here's the other key pins. We'll get to those guys. These springs are all chopped down, and I don't know where he got these little things, but these are like partial springs. And this was obviously designed to give no spring tension. I don't even know where these guys came. Very light gauge springs. Alright, I did dump the pins out. That's my bad. So we have a key, we could figure it out, but let's take a look at them. We have one here that is very mangled. I don't know what happened to him, but he's probably got bad memories from whatever it was. Got another one here, same kind of deal. It started out life as serrations, and then somebody got a hold of him and just chewed on him for a while. Got some nastiness on him. The rest of these guys are pretty normal. They look serrated. All the rest of these guys are just straight up serrated. We got one steel pin, and they're, come on baby, and the rest of them are just standard serration. So we got 2 mangled key pins. I don't know what order they're in. I don't think it really matters. And that's what we're looking at. Now let's get to something that has seen better days. Yeah, we got serrations on 3, 4, and 5, and 3 and 4 are somehow connected. It looked like maybe the center wall got broke out when they drilled it out just a little bit too much. And then the top of this one has been chamfered. I don't know why, but that's what we're looking at. Pretty good effort. I gotta say, the springs really threw me. I got no feedback. They just didn't want to talk to me at all. So I gotta say, Kyle, you did a pretty good job. I think I would not mangle the core quite so much, but other than that, everything worked out pretty well. So I appreciate you sending this in, and I enjoyed picking it. Everybody else, appreciate your time. Stay safe. Stay legal. Alright, Kyle, we're going to have to conspire a little bit. I do not have a replacement core for a Schlage, unfortunately, so we'll make do with this one. Our problem here is that we have a reliability issue, because when we tapped that, it went all the way through, and so that's why the key is getting stuck. There's nothing we can do about that. But there are some things we can do to improve the reliability. It's not going to be perfect, but it's the best that we're going to be able to do with what we have. I'm going to, first of all, take these 2 pins that have been through the ringer, and I've got brand new serrated ones here to replace them with, and that way they won't wobble around. They're actually crossing in between those 2 joining cores, and they're twisting and jamming up. So at least putting new pins in there, that will stop that. On the upper pins, since you've gone to trouble to serrate everything, I'm going to just replace all of them with a mixture of serrated and serrated spools. And the last thing I'm going to do, the springs also were given some reliability. It's great for a picking challenge, but not for a lock that we need to be reliable. So I'm going to take and just use standard springs. I think that will give you everything you want this lock to do, and I think it'll be just a little bit more reliable for the next guy. Anyway, Kyle, again, I appreciate it. You were like that close. Thanks, guys.